Welcome to Duality Books, where I bring you good books and great authors without ever leaving your couch. As always, I'm your host, Mara Saint, and if you're new to the show and you've never listened to us before, I am a little bit of everything. I'm an author, an entrepreneur, and obviously, I'm the host of this show. Can y'all believe it is already June? I can't believe we're halfway through the year already, and it is summer, and kids are out of school, and it is also, of course, Pride Month. I'm sure most of you that are listening already knew that, though. It has been all over Facebook since June 1st, but I thought it would be a good idea to mention it. And in honor of Pride Month, and the fact that this is the show's very first Pride Month, I want to select as many names as I possibly can for authors and business owners in the community who are part of the LGBTQ community, as well as any business owner or author who is a person of color. So if you are one of those people, or you know one of those people, shoot me their name. You can comment below, you can send me a message. Any way you have to, get me that name. And I will be posting an entire master list of those names and the business names also on a blog on my website, dualityincorporated.com. Incorporated is not spelled the conventional way. It is spelled with a K, not a C. So it's Duality Incorporated with a K, not a C.com. But I will be posting those names probably pretty continuously, but I would like to get a nice sized chunk of names on that list in the next few days, because I would like there to be a place where those people can be celebrated. And this month is really special, I think, because it really embodies our individuality more than any other month in the year. And I do say our because I am one of those people. I am part of that community, a very proud member, and as well as people that I love. So, but I really want to get this list going, so send me those names as soon as possible, and I will get that list up as soon as I start getting names. I will post that list on my blog, and you can send anybody that you know that is looking to shop from a person of color or an LGBTQ member. You can send them to my blog where they can get names and links. If I can get links, send me links too, guys. If you have links for these businesses, please give those to me too, so that I can include those in my blog. And if I can get links, I will be posting links too, so that they don't have to search. They can just click a link and they can get there. Because we definitely want people shopping with these business owners. And this list, by the way, is permanent. It will not come down after June is over. This list will be a permanent fixture on my website. It's not going anywhere, because I believe in celebrating uniqueness and individuality all year long, not just 1 month out of a year. So I want to keep this list up all the time so that these people can be celebrated all year long. So get me those names as soon as possible. Now, we are going to move on to the review. This week, I reviewed Waveborn by Michaela Whitaker. Sorry. Michaela Whitaker is the author name, and the book is titled Waveborne, the Ocean series. Kindle Unlimited members, listen up, because you guys can actually read this book for free. It is a part of the Kindle Unlimited program. The first book is, I can't tell you whether or not the rest of it is. I would think it is, but I'm not 100% sure. I did not check. I did not check to see if the rest of it was there. But I know that this book is. That's actually how I read it. I read it on Kindle Unlimited. So, the book is considered fantasy and romance. So, I want to bring your attention to the cover. If you are listening to this episode via YouTube, then you can check out the book cover as I describe it on the thumbnail. The book cover, you guys, it's hard to describe in words. It is breathtaking. It is stunning. It's probably one of the most beautiful covers I've ever seen. I love pastel colors, and I love soft colors. It's probably my second favorite palette, honestly, is like the soft pastels. Sorry, oh my god. Soft pastel colors are like my favorite, or my second favorite palette. So, what's great about this cover is that it's just as vibrant as it is soft, and just because it is vibrant does not mean it's loud. It's not in your face. It's not screaming at you. It's not blinding, but it definitely calls the eye to this cover without being blinding and being like obnoxious. It's very well balanced by the fact that it is set against a white background, and all of the color is just in the middle, but the imagery is great. It's fantastic. It's actually perfect for this particular story. I loved it. So, Michaela, if you're listening, give my compliments to your designer, because this cover is stunning. If I could frame it, I would. I am that kind of person. I am that person who considers book covers to be art, and I actually really want to enlarge book covers and frame them and hang them up as artwork in my house. One day I want to do that. That's definitely something I want to do in the future, like a future project that I would like to do, to just have them hanging around and stuff. Like, I would like to just have beautiful covers posted everywhere all over my house and stuff. But I would really like to have, even more than that, I would really like to have blow up the covers for authors that I interview and authors that I review for. I would love to have your guys' covers, and I'd like to enlarge them like a poster, and then just, frame them and hang them up around my house. That would be great, because that would make it more meaningful. So it's not just beautiful, random beautiful covers, but also I'm collecting, the covers of authors that I have reviewed and interviewed and stuff. So that's another idea that I'm considering for possibly in the future. But I am that person that considers, book covers to be art, because they are. I mean, they're not just art on the page of a book. They're also art in their own right. They're beautiful to look at. I mean, people spend so much money on covers, and the people who make them put so much time and effort into making them, and people spend hours looking through, pre-mades, and looking through and, going over the details with a cover designer and stuff, during the process. It is work, and the result is beautiful. So, I mean, I think that they deserve recognition in their own right, because they are a form of art all their own. Of course they're attached to a great story, but they're not, but they, could very easily stand alone, as artwork. So that's just me. That's just me, though. That's just how I feel about it. So I love this cover, and I was super impressed by it. I was definitely intrigued, not just by the beauty of the cover, but also the subject matter, because let me tell you, I didn't have to read the blurb to figure out what the book, centralized around, which was mer people. There is imagery on the cover that, sort of gives that away. So I already knew that this was a fantasy story that was going to be different, and it's going to be very, original. Is this probably the only fantasy story that centers around mermaids? No, more than likely not. I'm sure that there's others out there, but you know what? They are far less common than something like, say, vampires and werewolves. No disrespect intended towards people who write, vampires and werewolves. I'm certainly not immune. Let me tell you. Wait till y'all start seeing my work, you guys. I am definitely not immune, okay? But I can very, very, very much appreciate original work, and I can even more appreciate someone who decides to venture off from, the norm. So I love originality, and I love uniqueness, and I love when somebody kind of, breaks off from what's trending, and does their own thing. So that instantly had my interest. The book itself was well written. The writing was very smooth. It was easy to understand. It was easy to keep up with. It transitioned very well from one subject to another. She had great vocabulary. I enjoyed the story overall. What I would have liked to see different is a little bit more balance between fantasy and romance. That's the only thing I can really say that I would have liked to see differently. Overall, the story was wonderful. It just seemed romance heavy to me. And that's a preference thing for me, you guys. I like romance, but I like it in proportion with fantasy. Whenever I'm reading a fantasy story, I prefer fantasy, and when I say I prefer fantasy, I prefer like fantasy heavy stories. So like if it's a fantasy book, I expect heavy fantasy, lots of fantasy elements, lots of action, lots of things going on. So this one to me was more romance driven, and that's fine, and that's not a problem. It's just not my preference. It's just not what I would have liked to see. But, I love the story all the same. And it's very good. If you like romance maybe more heavily than you like fantasy, this is definitely a book for you. If you like stories that center around beaches and vacations, or not vacations, but, kind of vacation-y, because, the main character is not on vacation, but she lives by the ocean. She lives in South Carolina. So, and she lives very close to an ocean. So, if you like those kinds of settings, then this is definitely a story that you need to pick up. And, like I said earlier, you can find this story on Kindle Unlimited for free. So if you are a Kindle Unlimited subscriber, I highly suggest you go pick up this one. I am going to give this story 4 stars. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think, though, in the comments. Give me your honest opinions. Let me know in the comments what you guys think after you read it. I really would be interested to see what you guys think about it, and hear what you guys have to say about it, and what you saw and what you experienced. So let me know, but before you let me know, let her know by reviewing her book. Don't forget to do that. because that is literally, that's literally what I'm doing here. That's literally what this whole show centers around is airing book reviews for authors and for the public. So, make sure that you guys are reviewing any books that you guys pick up from the show and you find out about and that intrigue you and you decide to go read. Make sure that you're telling the author how much you appreciate their story and leave them a review. It's a very simple process. It takes very little time and it does help the author. So please do that. Before you let me know, let her know by giving her a review on Amazon. All right? So that about wraps up this show. And I will see you guys back here next week. Next week, I will be here reviewing Tahani Nelson's book, The Last Fae. It is fantasy. The genre is fantasy. And you guys definitely don't want to miss this episode, okay? So, I will see you guys back here on Friday. I know, before you guys think it in your heads, I know I was supposed to post this episode Friday, and I'm sorry. Things got away from me. Time got away from me. Things came up. I had, stuff going on that I wasn't expecting to have, and I'm so sorry. But next week, I promise we will be back on schedule. I will be posting that episode on Friday. And we have a very special interview episode tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Do not miss that. I am going to be interviewing Tahani Nelson ahead of her book review that is this Friday. So if you want to hear more about the book and hear more about her and her career, definitely tune in tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and you will hear me interview and have a conversation with Tahani Nelson. And we'll be talking about her book, and we'll talk about the book that I'm going to review, and we'll be catching up with her and finding out what else she's got going on. So do not miss that. 10 a.m. Eastern on Spreaker, and you can also catch us on Spotify, but it'll probably be a playback. So it may or may not be available right at 10 o'clock if you're listening through Spotify. I don't know. I'm not sure if the episode itself will post as it's recording, as it's being aired live, or if it doesn't post until playback. The episode is going to last for about an hour, so if you hop on Spotify at 10 a.m. and you don't see the episode yet, a new episode posted, then give it till about 11 or so, roughly, and then come back and there should be a new episode up. So don't miss that. Do not miss that. You guys, especially you fantasy readers, do not want to miss this episode. Do not want to miss that conversation with her, and then I will be reviewing her book next review episode on Friday. So I will see you guys back here on Friday for that review. All right? As always, take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you guys in the morning. Okay? Bye, guys.